Hi, I'm Marcia Yoshida. I'm Stampin' Up! Demonstrator as well as the owner and operator of Marcia Plays with Paper. There it is, marciaplayswithpaper.com. Planning to have that open as of the end of January 2017. Today I'd like to show you some of the things that I've used out of the new Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog for 2017 to make this card. And we have here on the front this lovely young lady. And thanks for that thing you did, or any other message you want to use. You get the idea. So, first of all, the things you're going to need are your paper, cut to these sizes, Peekaboo Peach, which is this color, and 8.5 by 5.5, and 3 1/4 by 2.5. Pacific Point, which is this lovely blue, and that would be in 3 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And then 2 pieces of Very Vanilla, our kind of cream color for Stampin' Up. One at 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches, and a piece of scrap. So the first thing I want to show you is how we got this background image right here. And that is with our new set called Tie Dye, which is so much fun. I'm going to back up the camera a little bit so you can see the whole thing. There we go. Alrighty. So these images are only at 70% size. They're actually, you can see the real sizes on the actual stamps in here. These are some of our photopolymer stamps, and they are so nice because they stick so well. And what I'm going to show you first how to get that lovely background image by just putting the stamp right on my block and getting my Peekaboo Peach pad ready to go. So all I'm doing is I'm doing a tone-on-tone kind of thing here with this. Just take the, sorry, having trouble getting a hold of things here. Take my stamp and tap it across that pad, and then just anywhere you want to, because this is just a background, you just go over the top of the whole piece of paper. And if I can get it off of there. There we are. There's our background. Now, that is the first stamping we're going to do today with the tie-dye set, but I wanted to also do the inside using a little bit of the tie-dye set. So the message I'm going to use this time is from the Beautiful You set, which is a 2-package set with these 2 young ladies and some beautiful just brush stroke things, along with a birthday message and in style, and then our young dancing woman here with a bunch of different messages that you can check out. So the one I chose for today was Life Looks Beautiful on You, and I want to do it on the inside of the card on a piece of Very Vanilla, again 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and I'm taking my Pacific Point pad, inking up my stamp, and just stamping that straight down, straight up. That's how we do it with the Stampin' Up! Stamps. You don't ever want to rock your Stampin' Up! Stamps because you end up getting little edges that you don't want, and you won't be pleased with your images. A lot of stamps you have to rock them back and forth to get a good image, but you don't have to do that with ours. They're really exceptional in that way. The other thing inside was another of the images from the tie-dye set. And I'm going to use the Peekaboo Peach again and just make 2 hearts here, one on either side of the words. So our inside's all ready to go. But the outside still needs some work. So the next thing we'll do is we will set that aside first, and we will take, actually let's work on the front of the card. I took my my paper, my Peekaboo Peach paper, and scored it in half. And then I want to make it not really straight on here. I want to have a little bit of a, I don't know, what you want to call that. But I'll take my snail, put a little bit in each corner. That's something you'll find with snail. You don't need too much. You may think you need more than you really do, but you really don't. And I want to put that a little bit at an angle there. And then take my piece that I used, that I stamped the tie-dye pattern on, and put it at a different angle here. So you just have a kind of a, I don't quite know what to call it, but just a bit askew, but in a nice way, I think. So put that on there, and we're ready to add a little bit of washi tape. Now this washi tape is fun. It's got multicolors as you go around, and it's from the Party Animal washi tape set out of the Occasions catalog for 2017. I'm just going to put one strip down there. I like to just tear my washi. Some people like to cut it. I don't care to do that. I like to just tear it. And then I'll do another stripe because I don't want the pattern to be the same. I'm just going to flip it over. And here we go. Just put another piece right here to even make it more angular and give it a little interest. Now we're going to do the more delicate part of it. But, oh, you know what? Let's put the inside in first. So we'll be all done with the inside. So again, in the corners with the snail. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a tab in the middle there. And life looks beautiful on you. I just kind of eyeball it when I do this, trying to make sure that it's even on all the sides. Put it down, and the inside's done. The outside's almost done, but we have one very important thing to do, and that is our little girl. So I'm going to take this stamp from the Beautiful You set and mount it on my block here. This is the E block, which takes care of a multitude of different sizes of things. Now, this is neat. I'm going to use for this my new watercolor pencils, also out of the Occasions catalog from 2017. It comes in 13 different colors, and today I'm going to show you 3 different ways to use this. So the first thing you're going to do is I'm using jet black StazOn to stamp my base image. And I'll just rub her across there first, and then just tap, 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 tap. And I can just put her anywhere on my scrap piece. And there we go. There's a lovely image of our girl. Now, the reason I'm using StazOn is because we're going to use our new watercolor pencils in conjunction with our aqua painters. Now, aqua painters are these lovely things that you can use with both ink or now the pencils. Aqua painters help to kind of soften your look and make it watercolory, and they come in a set of 2. They have 2 different tips, as you can see. When they come, they're really clear, but you can see these are a little bit discolored. That's just from use. That's very normal, and the color's not going to come off. You know, as you can see here, there's nothing coming off of there, and it's been used many times. What I've done is I've unscrewed this part and put water in the chamber. You can also use isopropyl alcohol if you'd like to make it dry a lot faster. Now let me show you the 3 ways. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, I think, if I can get my camera to do that. Hold on just a second there. There we go. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little more closely. Now, I'm going to use these 3 different ways, as I said. First way is this, and I'm just going to give it a little rough brushing with the color here. Not anything very specific. I'm kind of going along the contours of the stamp, actually where the main details are for the stamp, and maybe along the edge here. I hope you can see that. I know it's a little difficult. After that, we'll go ahead and take the aqua painter and just take it. You're not going to squeeze it because there's enough water on the brush already from just being. I'm going to pull the color out just a little bit and soften it. And I use the StazOn because when I add water, I don't want my original image to run. So here we go. Just drawing that color out, making a nice soft yellow for the whole dress. Now the second way you can use, now see, I'm going to just take my aqua painter and do that, and we're ready for the next color because there's nothing coming off of that. The next color I'm going to use is the Pacific Point pencil. So you see I'm kind of coordinating with the Pacific Point paper on our card, and this time I'm just going to color directly onto the image, just like you would with normal colored pencils. And that's the second way you can use these watercolor pencils. All right. There you go, number 2. Now the third thing you can do, I want to show you, this is really cool. And that is just taking the color directly off the tip of the pencil. So I'm going to just do this, and you can see you get a very light brown there. This is the early espresso pencil. I have a light brown there. My girl needs a tan. She's even paler than I am, and that's really pitiful. So I add a little more color, a little more color. Every layer is going to be a little darker skin tone if you'd like to do that. You can make it very light. I'll show you here on her. I have maybe a little more than I wanted on that, but that's okay. But you just want to make sure her skin tone matches for the whole image. I also wanted to show you that you can do this with not only the early espresso, but, and I mean for skin tone, you can do it of course with any of the pencils, but you can do it also with the basic black to make a darker skin tone. I'll show you that as soon as I'm done coloring her. All right, almost got it. There we go. And again, whoop, see that time a little bit came off the brush, off the aqua painter, but then we're ready for the next one. So if I use the basic black, let me show you how that works out. Again, pulling the color right off the tip of the pencil. If I want a light tone, just start, then add a little more, add a little more, add a little more for a nice rich tone. And I think these are just lovely. They're soft, but they're just really nice. I think I want to add a little more blending on my yellow there. There we go. There we go. All right. So I'm done with my aqua painter. I can put it aside and my pencils, and we're just ready to cut out. So I'm going to back up a little bit again. There we go. And I have my nice paper snips here. And when I cut out something like this, I could cut out right on the edge, but I don't like to do that. I usually like to leave a little bit of a border for her, as you can see I did on this card. I think it softens it a little bit, and yet it still stands out quite well. So I started down here on the bottom, and I'm just cutting. And I'm not going to make you watch me cut this whole thing out because that would be silly, but I do want to point something out. You see, when I make my curves, I'm not moving my scissors. I mean, obviously they're doing this, but I'm not going moving my scissors all around. What I'm doing is I'm moving my paper, and I think that that makes a huge difference in how smooth a cut you can get. So I get a nice soft turn there and just keep going. I'm not going to make you watch me cut this out because I've already done it. Here they are. Now, I do want my young lady to stand up a little bit. You can see that maybe if I do that. It's a little more obvious. There's more depth to the card. I like that look a little better. So what I'm going to do is let me lay this out flat. I am going to add dimensionals to the back of her. And these are our dimensionals, our Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I've always called them sticky uppy things. All my clients know it that way. Makes it a really interesting time when they're trying to find them in the catalog. But you can just stick those on the back. You can see, one of the things I love about ours is that you can use every single bit of these. You can see on this old sheet that I used, I have just one tiny little bit left right here. And I've cut around all the edges to get little tiny pieces, and I use them on the back of this one. And it works out perfectly because you can get into those narrow spots and you use every bit of them. So when you're ready, one of the things I like about the dimensionals is that you can put them on something that's cut out and not have to worry about it just sticking to things until you're ready for it to. And when you're ready, you just peel off the backing on all of these. And I'm going to set my schmutz aside. There. There. Getting there. I know, not the most exciting part you've seen. The pencils are the most exciting part, by far. But I really like the tie-dye set. The tie-dye set I'm going to have a lot of use for, I think. So now I have all of those peeled off and she's ready to go on here. And just, you know, nothing is centered on this card, which is why she's not going to be centered either. And she'll just be over here. Or if you want her to be, she could be a little further over, maybe a little further over. Maybe more like this. Yeah, I like that better. All right, stick that down. And we are done with our Peekaboo Peach and Pacific Point lovely young lady from the stamp set Beautiful You, and using the stamp set tie-dyed also. So, life looks beautiful on you. Love that. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll show you the measurements one more time if I can find them. I think I may have lost them somewhere. Ah, here they are. Here they are. If you can see those. There we go. Peekaboo Peach, 8.5 by 5.5 and 3 1/4 by 2.5. Pacific Point, 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, and Very Vanilla, 5 1/4 by 4, and a piece of scrap. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you will see me soon at MarciaPlaysWithPaper.com.